Yes.
Okay, great. So hi, my name is Verleen Mcsween. I'm from the University of the Virgin Islands, and my study focused on a thematic analysis of HBCU biology program mission statements. So the term HBCU refers to historically Black colleges and universities. So the term encompasses a diverse network of institutions that promote excellence, equity, and opportunity for scholars of all races across the nation. However, they are unified in that they are majority minority institutions of higher education established prior to 1964. And they have the principal mission of supporting and serving the educational needs of the African American community. HBCU's success in facilitating pathways, specifically for STEM graduates into the STEM workforce, has been widely documented. And although HBCUs make up only a minority of post-secondary institutions within the US, and they also matriculate a minority of Black students nationally. 1/3 of STEM doctoral graduates have been conferred their undergraduate degrees by HBCUs. So likewise, a subset of HBCUs are also noted to be the top producers of Black STEM PhDs nationwide. So these, in addition to that, Black STEM PhDs that are members of other minoritized groups, for example, women, are found to be more likely than not to have received their undergraduate or their graduate degree, also from an HBCU as well. So these outcomes highlight the crucial role of HBCUs in STEM undergraduate education and also building a successful pathway for minorities into advanced degree programs in STEM and also STEM career fields as well. They provide nurturing learning spaces for students that have been traditionally marginalized and underrepresented in STEM, and they can also serve as models in best practice for educating and retaining undergraduate minority students. So in addition to that, HBCUs have a unique mission. And so we found through research that the mission statements of post-secondary institutions in general should integrate elements that form the basis for their mission in higher education. And so previous studies have shown that post-secondary institutions in general, not only HBCUs, that they have reported a myriad of different themes relevant to their respective institutional missions. These include, but aren't limited to, things like leadership, citizenship, cultural diversity, along with lifelong learning, academic achievement, and also technology as well. And prior thematic analysis of HBCU specifically revealed an emphasis and a commitment to a liberal arts education and also professional education for these learners. And the institutional missions of HBCUs can be further adapted, specifically by the departmental units, so a lower hierarchical level, to be able to generate more specific mission statements that meet the targeted goals of the department and also the needs of their discipline-specific learners as well. So although the thematic analysis of the mission statements of HBCUs has been conducted, but specifically at the institutional level, we want to conduct a similar analysis, but at the departmental or the programmatic level of discipline-specific STEM areas. And so potentially this more focused thematic analysis at a different hierarchical level can, notably at the academic unit, which actually interacts more directly with the STEM students, may potentially facilitate the emergence of additional or discipline-specific themes that may impact student success among underrepresented minority students. So in order to better understand the contribution of HBCUs to STEM student success, my current study uses a qualitative approach to be able to investigate the mission statements of HBCUs in a discipline-specific context, specifically at the departmental or the programmatic level of biology or biology-related departments and programs. So my specific question was, what are the recurring themes among the mission statements of these programs that contribute to the success of HBCUs in underrepresented minority biology student retention? So in order to conduct this study, I utilized data from the U.S. Department of Education's National Center for Education Statistics, specifically their IPEDS, or Integrated Post-Secondary Education Data System. So first I did a search for these institutions with a specialized mission, these HBCUs, and then I then went to each of the different websites to be able to identify the mission statement specifically for the biology programs or departments. So through that, I had the particular criteria that eliminated any institutions where I was unable to find that information. And then in addition to that, then I utilize thematic analysis using Delve Cactus to be able to identify different codes within the different mission statements that I was able to identify from these online sources from each of the institutions. And then after I coded the information, I categorized them, and then those categories emerged into individual themes that I was able to utilize in my analysis. So initially, when I did my original search for HBCUs, it returned 101 HBCUs. And then here we have the Carnegie classifications for all of the institutions. So based on the criteria that I utilized, being able to have a biology program or department that had an identifiable mission statement, I was able to select a cohort of those institutions. So approximately about 28% of the overall HBCU population was identified to meet that particular criteria. So the institutions or the Carnegie classifications at the top represent those that I was able to find schools that fell into those particular categories. So out of the 12 initial Carnegie classifications that were presented with the HBCUs, 6 of those classifications were still represented in the selected cohort. Additionally, through the qualitative analysis, 92 unique codes were generated. And then, as I mentioned, those were put into 8 major themes. So in terms of the different Carnegie classes, the range for the number of themes that may have been identified per class range from 4 as the lowest amount of themes per class versus 7 being the highest number. So no class had all 8 themes potentially being represented within the analysis. And then in addition to that, the most frequent themes were found to be STEM or healthcare workforce preparation, along with skill development. And then the least frequent themes were found to be non-STEM student science education, along with diversity and inclusion. I'll list the themes from most frequent to least frequent. So starting with our STEM, healthcare workforce preparation, skill development, then curricula and pedagogy, enrichment opportunities, professional and graduate studies preparation, quality learning environment, non-STEM student science education, and also diversity and inclusion as well. So I'll go through each of the major themes and identify some of the major findings that I found there. So in terms of STEM, healthcare workforce preparation, our most frequent theme, workforce preparation in STEM and healthcare related disciplines was represented, and the departmental units particularly emphasized career readiness. And they provided a multi-pathway approach for the students or learners to be able to participate in the STEM workforce. And this was highlighted pretty much by all the institutions. And then some institutions mentioned very specific STEM or health related careers that they wanted to be able to prepare these students for. And then some schools explicitly mentioned the STEM workforce within their actual mission statement. They also utilized terms like excel or productive or being outstanding contributors to highlight their mission to generate a quality cohort of STEM professionals that would be able to meet particular competencies and proficiencies that would be required by the future STEM workforce. We also had skill development as well. So that skill development focused on the building of a range of different skills. And these included both cognitive and non-cognitive skills, but particularly the skill sets were scientific skills that could be useful to the students in their particular STEM career. So we also had skill sets that included non-cognitive abilities with relevance to training in advanced programs or within STEM careers. So examples included things like leadership, collaboration, citizenship, or ethics as well. And then many of the skills were very translatable to multiple fields of STEM or healthcare related fields. And so this approach to building these technical skills and also the 21st century skills demonstrate support by these departments to provide a multidimensional development for their particular learners. We also had curricula and pedagogy emerge as well. So the programs emphasized curricula and pedagogy that effectively facilitated opportunities for student learning and also student achievement as well. So in general, they tried to describe their particular curricula or pedagogy that they were engaging in, or giving examples of the learning activities that the students might participate in as part of their intended curriculum. And they also use descriptive terms such as excellent, rigorous, world-class, proactive, enriched, comprehensive, solid foundation, and breadth of discipline to emphasize the intended rigor of the particular curriculum. We also have enrichment opportunities that the students were presented with in these mission statements. So enrichment opportunities was pretty much identified in every Carnegie class with the exception of one. So some enrichment opportunities included things like internships, research experiences, training, participation in course-based undergraduate research experiences, things like community service, teaching, laboratory assistantships, opportunities to participate in experiential learning, and also access to collaborations with other institutions. And many of these enrichment opportunities are basically high impact practices that are used throughout higher education to promote student success and also student persistence. And the literature has also shown that these high impact practices particularly positively impact students from underrepresented backgrounds. We also had professional graduate studies preparation. So the institutions basically sought to improve entry or admission for these students into advanced training programs. So some of the terms that they highlighted were things like graduate and professional schools, graduate school, postgraduate education, professional and graduate studies. So those were sort of recurring words that I sort of grouped together within the theme. And then some also indicated training preparation for very specific disciplines like biomedical or environmental fields or science. We also had the quality learning environment as well. So that was also identified in every Carnegie class with the exception of one. And some institutions specifically stated that very explicitly versus implicitly. So some noted the features of the quality learning environment, things like comprehensive support, resources, or access to resources, small class sizes, individualized attention, and also the opportunity to engage in scholarly activities as well. And another feature of the quality learning environment was also an emphasis on supporting the academic goal attainment for students, as well as meeting their non-academic needs. We also had non-STEM student science education, which was a minor theme. And for this particular theme, the groups just focused on providing sort of service courses for non-STEM majors and wanting to sort of educate the wider community as well. And then finally, we have diversity. Okay, thank you. And finally, we have diversity and inclusion, which was also found to be a minor theme, which, is surprising. But basically, my inference is that many of the institutional mission statements already addressed diversity. In addition to, because it's an HBCU, the primary target population may already be inferred. So maybe they didn't feel the need to sort of reiterate it in the departmental or academic unit mission statement. So basically, these data demonstrate the importance of HBCUs in helping to facilitate STEM student preparation. And they have quite an emphasis on career readiness and readiness for advanced training programs, particularly in discipline-specific areas within STEM to help improve student success and also retention of diverse candidates into the STEM workforce. So continued interest and study in the role of HBCUs within trying to build STEM graduates and also funnel into that STEM pathway or pipeline individuals that can move successfully and also be retained within the STEM workforce. Thank you.